It's time once again for... Mark Webb, Knowledge Investigator.
Mr. Webb, this winter has been making me crazy. You've got to help me.
What seems to be the problem?
I'm someone who needs to exercise to feel good. I love tennis and bicycling in the summer, but whenever I try to exercise in the winter, I get cold and wet, and then I'm miserable. I just want to go home. Now I'm getting cabin fever. What can I do?
This sounds serious. I'll get right on it.
Journey through all of human knowledge and see how it's all related as you follow the adventures of the man with the action-packed brain case, America's fabulous freelance knowledge investigator,
Yours recreationally, Mark Webb. If it were not for snow, winter recreation would be just like that in other seasons, only colder. It's incredible how something that happens on the molecular level affects people's lives so much. Warm air holds more moisture than cool air, and when the temperature inside a cloud drops, as when a cold front meets a warm front, snowflakes begin as tiny hexagons of ice because of the arrangement of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Branches grow most quickly at the 6 corners, and that produces the familiar shapes. When the flakes become too large and heavy for air currents to support them, they fall as snow. This makes people work a lot harder to get to work, to school, or just to the woodpile. But it opens up many possibilities for recreation. This case would not require much investigation on my part, since
I love winter!
But my client said she could not enjoy winter as much as she wanted because she had trouble staying comfortable. Now, many people make the mistake of overdressing when they go out to exercise in the winter. If you're wearing so much warm clothing that you sweat a lot while you're exercising, then you're going to wind up feeling colder if you stop or if the temperature drops. What you want to do is wear a system of layers and materials that take moisture away from you so that natural processes can regulate your temperature and keep you cool. Next to your skin, you want a layer of moisture-wicking material that's light and not too tight. Most of them are made of a polyester material and have some form of dry or wick in their names. Wool socks take moisture from your skin and keep most of their insulation value even when they're wet. Over this, it's a good idea to have another layer that looks more like outerwear. I like a pair of regular track pants with zippers to help me get them on and off. And for most conditions, a fleece vest provides all the warmth you'll need. Fleece also wicks. In fact, sometimes you'll see beads of moisture form on the outside when you're sweating. You'll still feel dry inside, though. For a little extra warmth, you can go with a long sleeve fleece. A thin wool hat and thin fleece gloves will get you ready for just about anything. If it's really windy, wear a windproof outer layer. But remember, as soon as you start to sweat, get rid of it or you'll freeze. Hardcore traditionalists might prefer the all-wool look, but this can get hot in a hurry. At 25 degrees, I'll start with polypropylene shirt, track pants, my vest, a wool hat, and gloves. And as I work in to my exercise, I'll first unzip the vest to get in some more air. Then I'll open it up entirely. Next, the hat might come off once I had built up some heat. The vest will come off. the gloves will come off, and at some point I'll have to open up my zipper to get even more ventilation. But because I kept everything dry, when I stop or it gets cold, I can layer up again. So let's see how I would actually have some fun on a 20-degree day. Completely outfitted, we have a light wool hat that's going to take the moisture away from you, some polar fleece lined Lycra gloves. They don't limit your mobility very much, but they're nice and warm and they're windproof. You need a vest to keep your core warm, but you'll probably be swinging your arms and legs a lot, so you don't need a lot of layers there. Make sure you bring enough water to stay hydrated, and check out the glare. Unless you have sunglasses on, this is going to give you a bad headache. So let's go. Snowshoes are useful in really deep snow, where you'll go in up to your knee or halfway up your calf, and it might be really difficult to take a normal hike. Here's how it works. All the surface area distributes your weight, so as you press down, you're not going to sink really at all. Here's what would happen if you didn't have your snowshoes on. And that's not an easy hike. But this is a great way to get a workout. In addition to putting a little bit of weight on your feet, snowshoeing forces you to lift your legs higher than walking in order to keep your toes out of the snow. And if you're ready for more intensity, you can pick up the pace to a jog. To get your upper body involved, break out your cross-country ski poles. Now that ought to cure your cabin fever. But for me, nothing, and I do mean nothing, beats a bit of cross-country skiing. It feels incredible to blaze a trail across a snowy expanse. And when the tracks get packed, gliding is like flying. So if you do go snowshoeing or hiking, please be considerate and don't walk in those tracks that we've worked so hard to make. You know, a guy could forget he's working on a day like this. I hoped my client was going to have fun because I certainly was.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Webb. You've certainly given me a lot to think about. I guess I'd better put on some layers, get outside, and make some vitamin D.
End of investigation. End of report. Remarks? Sunlight helps your body make vitamin D. Exercise makes your body produce endorphins. What are you waiting for? Dress properly and get out there. Yours recreationally, Mark Webb.